it. And now you gotta get it back. And the way to get it back is to go back to the beginning. You know what I mean?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is JH, part 2 of the transfers. Now, we explained how we're going to transfer when it came down to the non-careers, and then we also explained how we were going to transfer with the career employees. What we did not address was transfers out of your district and out of state. Relocating transfers. Now, what does that mean? That means I live in Texas and I want to move to Chicago, but I've only been with the job for about a year. Here's how this goes. Very important. These time frames I didn't have before, and one of my viewers, homeboy, actually gave me the time frames. I appreciate you for that. Because you're moving from Texas and you want to get up to Chicago for whatever your reasons are, they have 2 different methods that they could do. They have emergency transfers, which is very difficult for you to get. Number 1, we have to remember, if your career, you can only move if there is another career position available in the area that you're moving to. So that has to be available. And then secondly, because you're moving outside of your district, you have to wait a minimum of 18 months from the day you were converted to career. Got that? Very important. You had to wait 18 months from the day you were converted to career. So that's a year and a half after becoming career will you then be able to transfer. And you have to go through this whole process. Again, that's on eCareers. You have to get your managers to approve it. And when you do this whole thing with transferring, they're gonna request your record. So if I'm up in Chicago and there's a truck driver in Texas that wants to come to my facility, I'm gonna say, okay, well, what was their driving history? What was their attendance record? All that stuff that's going in your file right now, all that stuff comes up. And if you're a problem child where you were at, don't think that they're going to allow you to go to the next spot and be a problem child there. That's not going to happen. So this was a scenario. Individual had a minor backup accident and he was at one spot. And that showed up on, hey, you know, this person had one accident where he was hitting something that was standing still, and that was the only time that happened within a 5-year span. Well, stuff happens. That's not a bad thing. Now, if it's a continuous thing, he had 3 accidents 1 year, 4 accidents the next year, 2 accidents, one, so on and so forth. That's not going to be somebody that we want to bring on. So chances of you getting a transfer, slim to none. If you have poor attendance, I don't want a problem child that's going to come to my facility. So just remember these things. They're not going to be privy to accept you because you have attendance issues. If you have issues with getting along with management, II is repetitive, for showing up late, for being, you know, disgruntled, for arguing, for whatever your scenarios are, all the stuff that's in your file sits there and it can and will be used against you upon your transfer request. So they do go through these things. They check, oh, how many times was this person absent? How many legitimate absences they had, so on and so forth. So just remember, what you're putting in now, that work you're putting in now, can affect you later. So if you got this sparkling clean record, the chances of somebody wanting to bring you on gonna be like, oh yeah, get this person over here. Yeah, this person's great. But if your record's a little shady, they're gonna be, yeah, I don't really need this headache. I got enough headaches here. Just remember that. Now, back to the individual transferring, if you decided you were in Dallas, Texas, and you wanted to go to Houston, Texas, that's a different scenario. That's considered the same district, you do not have to wait a year and a half. You're only going to have to wait, I believe it's 12 months from the date of career conversion before you're able to transfer within your district. So that's if you're staying in your craft, obviously the same thing. And again, we just spoke about what you need to do if you're going to change crafts, but we're talking about the time frames right now. Now, for non-career employees, same concept. You ready to move? You're not career yet. You're, a year and a half in. You only got 6 months before you turn career, but you have to move. You're going from Texas to Massachusetts. You can apply. If they accept you in Massachusetts, it's going to tell you that you're resigning. You're going to have to resign from your position in Texas. You have to physically resign. There's a little button that pops up. You're going to resign. And then once you resign, they're going to give you a 5-day, or I think it might be only 3 days now, 3 or 5 day break in service. And once that break in service is over, it allows them to transfer your finance number, because each of us get paid under a different finance number, in case you didn't know. Truck drivers have a finance number, carriers have a finance number, and each station has their own. So they have to take time out to get you out the system and put you back in the system in order for you to go and start over at the new spot. Again, you lose all your seniority, and that's the headache behind it, and you're basically starting from scratch. So no, it doesn't continue on. Oh yeah, well, I was here for a year and a half, so if I just go up there for another half a year, I'll be converted, right? No, it doesn't work like that. So that's the unfortunate part about being non-career. Now, once you convert to career on January 1st, you're not going to be able to transfer for a year and a half if you go out of state, out your district, and for a year, 12 months, if you're staying in your district. I hope that cleared some things up. All this information that I'm sharing with you is not readily available, but what you can do in order to look for other positions is, if you're on light blue and you're working with us already, just kind of navigate through your light blue and look at the e-careers section and see what posts and when they post and what time of day they pop up, and see what's coming out. It could be helpful to you. There is a career thing, a Zoom meeting coming up this upcoming Saturday or Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Go in your light blue. Please sign up for it. Even if you've only been working for the post office for 8 months, sign up for it. Get the information. At least sit there and get information. Gather the information. Gather it, because it's about becoming a supervisor later on in life. It may not be, in 6-7 months, or it may be, but at least you have the information there in front of you. There's thousands of people that are going to be watching. You're going to get a lot of questions that you may have, and they'll be giving you the proper answers to things that I necessarily wouldn't have. I'll be doing it. I'm going to be on it as well, because I'm going to get the information. I may transfer it over to one of the videos eventually, but this is for information from me, just in case later on down the line. But I implore everybody, it's this upcoming Sunday. Just look on your light blue, and you'll see it on the top, talking about the job fair, career fair, and you can just kind of go for it. Go for it and get the information. Sign up and just sit still for a few hours or an hour or whatever it is. I know it's hard for some of you, but it will definitely pay off later on down the line. Oh, wait, don't go nowhere. Here's a question for you. Here's a question. If I got one mouse and I got another mouse, is that 2 mouses or is this 2 meese? Because if you got 1 goose, you'd have 2 geese, right? So if I got 1 mouse and another mouse, that'd be 2 meese, right? Makes sense, right? English language, I can't figure it out. Type that in the comment section what the correct answer is. 2 meese or 2 mouse or 2 mouseses? Help me out. Help the old man out. This is JH with some silliness, but I really want to know. You got 1 house. Do you two have 2 houses? So then I'd have 2 mouses, right? No? I can't figure it out. Help me out. We out of here.